Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's session of Let's Talk Autism. I am Nita. I am one of the admins of this wonderful establishment that we call Autism and Us.
And hi, I'm Linda. I'm the other admin. Hi, everybody.
I'm going to try to share. If you are on the main page, please feel free to share.
Hi, I'm Linda.
Oops.
I'm the other
Okay, girl. Let's see. No, that's not what I want to do. All right. So, for those of you who are new, this is open discussion sessions where anything autism goes. Um, Linda and I are parents, just like most of you. So, if you have a question, a suggestion, please feel free to chime in the chat. Excuse me, I'm doing multitasking here, but feel free to chime in the chat, ask questions. If you can help another parent out, feel free to chime in the chat with your suggestion. But it's all about parents and caregivers, us helping each other and learning more about autism and getting tips and ideas and ways to make it through this journey. So, what's going on with everyone this evening? What did I want to do? Let's see here. Oh, let me get it. Hey, Michelle, how are you? Hey, Brandy, Kenyana, hope you guys are doing okay.
Hey, guys. Hey, Michelle, Brandy, and Kenyana. Excuse me. How is everybody this Sunday?
Mm-mm.
Andrew and Mindy and Taylor and Pearl. Hey, everyone. Carrie.
Exhausted from my boys fighting constantly. Oh, wow.
Yeah, that does get exhausting. How old are they?
Mm-mm. Your boys too, Michelle. I'm still multitasking here, so forgive me. Forgive me. Okay, here we go.
One is turning 14 and the other is 12, having second one tested. So the younger. So what level is a 14-year-old that is diagnosed? Sorry about that, Nina. Hey, Chris, in the UK. Daniel is very hyper this weekend. I ordered him a trampoline for Christmas. Daniel keeps saying the last word of each sentence 5 to 6 times. I wish he'd stop. Here's Emily.
Was that Kenyana?
Yeah. Yeah, every day, 11 and 9. And 14 and 12, and mine were 22 months apart, so just about 2 years apart. same thing. And they were as different as can be.
Like night and day, huh?
Yep. Like one was more into technology, the other one was into sports. They just weren't. Yeah. I was like, oh, I'm having two boys, you know, they totally different interests. Okay, yeah, we weren't given a number either. And so, Nia, you didn't get a number on the initial diagnosis, did you?
No, not on
No.
the initial.
Okay.
And actually, not on the very last one he had.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't give a number, but the one before that, we got levels 2 and 3.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's 14 and Emily
Yeah.
is 15. So, and then he is 14, DeAndre. So, 14, 14, 15. So it seemed like during that period of time, they weren't using numbers yet. Yeah, and then that. I think the fighting is a sibling thing, anyways. But yeah, they have difficulties. Like I know, Emily gets more upset and less tolerant. What is that? Yeah, that's Adriana's stuff, huh? Yeah. Oh. Yeah, it's funny. Steve just patched up our wall too. I mean, it's not funny that happened, Michelle, but yeah.
Hey, Colleen. For those of you who are in the watch party that I just started, this is our Let's Talk Autism session. We are live. This is open discussion. So if you have any questions, suggestions, anything you want to talk about, feel free, put it in the chat. Linda and I are parents just like most of you. And these sessions are all about parents, helping parents. And if you see a question in the chat, feel free. Now, the watch party is going on in the group. If you want to join the actual live, you can come on our main page, which is of the same name, Autism and Us. And we are live on the main page, but you can also stay in the watch party. I'll be watching for questions. Good evening, Chris.
She said hers are the same, tech and sports. One's tech and one's sports.
What's that? Oh, Brandy.
Her boys, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Sent one to school, one distant learning now. Numbers are going high again. Yes, they're going high here too. They did it with skateboard.
Oh my goodness. Were they fighting over the skateboard? Ours was kind of I want to say it's kind of accident, but it was a meltdown, so I don't know if I can really call that an accident.
Chris says, is that your mom? Who is who? What are you referring to, Chris? Both my, I'm gonna put this in the.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna put this one in here. And this is.
Where is that one? Oh, maybe I put
it. Okay. So let me go here.
Is there something wrong with my audio?
So Colleen says both my little ones are level 3 ASD. I thought everyone got a number automatically. Nope. Depends on, because there are several different types of tests, which I found out. It just depends. Everything is based on the same, though. They do the same things, but they call them different tests according to either your insurance company or the place that you are getting the testing from. So some psychologists give numbers, some don't. Some just write out the diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So wait a minute, let me get back here to Kenyana. Kenyana says Daniel keeps getting level 2. I've taken him to 4 different places and it's always the same. He has no siblings though, so he has nobody to fight with. Okay. Yeah, DeAndre has 2 and 3. Michelle says our school board is meeting tomorrow to discuss. Oh, wow, another closure. Yeah, we're looking for our schools to probably be totally shut down
Hey,
next
Emily.
month.
Oh,
Hey, Alex, how are you? Oh, that's what you were talking about. Something. I can I can hear you fine. Oh, Linda. I'm
oh,
not
okay.
sure.
Thanks.
I'm not sure. Can everybody else hear Linda? Okay.
Oh, okay. Michelle says not as loud.
No, just banging and where? Oh, I can hear you, Linda. Just not as loud.
Just
Oh,
not as
my
loud.
mouth is big. Okay.
But I was barely talking too because I was trying to read over something really quick.
I want to take them back out, just scared. Yeah. Jennifer says something that broke my heart today. Jamie tried to talk, and lately he have been trying so hard, and you can see the frustration in his eyes. How and when will it be able? When will it be able for me to deal with this? Sometimes he gets so mad, he tries to fight me or daddy because he's trying to express himself. Is that what you're saying?
And
Yeah, it can be frustrating.
how old is he? Sorry, Emily keeps opening the curtain back there. Hey, Emily, close the curtain back there, please. He's 2.5. That's a very I remember knowing about meltdowns and what meltdowns were, learning about it right at about 2 years old, and seeing how upset and frustrated she could get. Um, the thing with the thing that you can do to help him is to give him a means to communicate, whether it's the PEC system, which is the pictures where he can have his binder or somewhere where his pictures are, where he can pick up a picture and give it to you and communicate that way. And then when he hands it to you, say the word, and that way you reinforce the language with it. But give him a means to communicate and to explain to you what he's requesting or what he's trying to say. And that gets some of the frustration minimized a little bit. As time goes on, he'll find his way to communicate, his means of communication, even if he is what they define as nonverbal. Just finding a way to communicate will lessen the frustration.
Yeah, yeah. He'll get there. Okay, Michelle.
Steve
Colleen.
would have laughed at that one. Colleen is quieter.
Colleen said mine are like night and day. Chris Woodard says my son is 17 years now, nonverbal, but doing great. Shout out to everyone. Great that you guys are live. All right, awesome.
Yeah. Oh, he's from the UK, or she. I forgot. I want to say she, right? But every time I think I know it, it's not. So no. So
Yeah, I'm not sure. Chris.
17. If this is the same Chris, but I'm not sure. Doing great. That's good. Glad he's doing great. Hey, Charles.
Mr. Charles.
Oh, right here. So Jennifer says, so can I order them from somewhere or make them? We are learning sign language now. ABA works with it. Occupational therapy will work with it. Preschool will work with it. He wouldn't be in preschool until he's 3, depending on the state too, if it's mandatory or not. But if you look up PECS, PECS, it's the acronym. If you look that up online and read all about it, then you can make it yourself because you would know the things that he tries to communicate, whether it's his certain foods that you want him to request or his blankie or a toy, bath, things that you know that he can request and communicate. Not even just request, but things that he may want to communicate. Give him the availability in photos to do that. And then it will help him. So you can make PECs. When you have ABA, occupational therapy, preschool, things like that, they normally will do it or to get you started or help you. But there's no reason why you can't look it up and then start it yourself, especially with COVID right now. Instead of waiting, it would be good to, and just, sometimes they laminate them. You could put, like, you could make it, and if you want it to be water like that, waterproof like that, get the mailing tape. It's, it's kind of thick. It's like about that wide, I guess. And you can make the little pictures and then seal it with the tape and it'll be waterproof. Put a piece of Velcro on the back and put it where you wanted him to have availability for it, to be able to grab it and give it to you.
Hey, Charles. And Colleen says my 3-year-old right now is picking up PECs and it's like a miracle. Mm-hmm.
Because it takes that frustration away, because Emily never used it much, but it takes away the frustration. It's like sign language. It's another means of communicating when they're not verbal or when it's verbal is too difficult. Because a lot of us will say, I know Nita will say it too, our kids, if they can access something, they will, because they can't communicate that they want something. Like Emily has climbed the counters up to the high cabinets and tried to get things herself because it was easier for her to climb things and get it herself than to try to verbally request something.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, lots of climbing.
Right? Where you just don't bring it in the house anymore, like.
And they are DeAndre's speech teacher now she's working with the speech, but she's also using the PECS method. She's trying to use the yes and no, because DeAndre has a habit. When you ask him something, his first response is no. No, thank you. No, thank you. So yeah, she's working. Let's kind of get this together here. Chris says my son Daniel spoke from 5 years old, lots of communication. When he turned 11, he only speaks with echo learning, and now he's what is that? He's 16, soon 17, but he's got so much life in his eyes. I'm his dad. Okay, that's dad. And God sent me him as a gift. Oh, what a blessing. What a blessing.
Okay.
Hi, Juliet. Hi, Juliet.
Hi, Juliet.
Hey, Kelly. And Chris says all children are blessed. Just look in their eyes. Yes. Jennifer says thanks. Okay. Take over. I'm copying and pasting.
Oh, okay. Us as well, school. I work in pediatric. Numbers are going up. This past Friday, we have had over 10 positive COVID results. And, things are, even here in California, things are getting colder and windows are getting closed and doors and everybody's staying inside and numbers are going to go up. And that's unfortunate. But it's something we have to plan on. But yeah, it's horrible to hear that these numbers are going up. The only thing we have better going on right now is that they're a little bit, they know some stuff, some information about COVID and how to treat it, when to treat it, what to do. So there's a little bit of benefit. Of course, none of it is good though.
No.
Yeah, get a laminating machine, Velcro. And if you can't get the laminating machine, like I said, just use Scotch tape. There's ways to waterproof without having the machine, and then Velcro, little Velcro squares on the back to stick it in a binder on a page for him or something. They also have they put them in a Ziploc bag and sometimes just bind it and then hand it to you, depending on how big or small they are and how many he needs to communicate. But basically, he said, if you look in their eyes, just look in their eyes. And that's the thing that when your baby was born, before your baby spoke, you knew there was communication between you two. No matter what, there's still that communication. You knew when the baby was hungry, you knew when he or she was sleepy. There's communication. There's still communication. Just because it's not verbal means that they have less to say or that there's less communication. It's just the matter of finding out how they communicate.
I wanted to, this is a directional card for direction 2. And you see how it's laminated. And the BT made this for him. So it stays in the bathroom to keep him on routine. So we have this on the mirror and he'll go in there. So with your pecs, you can have things like if he wants to wash his hands, he can go and show you the hands and things like that.
Exactly. So the little picture of the hands that could go in the binder and he can hand it to you. He wants to wash his hands. And then that card, would hang in the bathroom and he would know step by step. That's called task analysis, when you break down the activity for them for each step. So we would think, go in there, wash our hands, and we're done. But task analysis is just exactly what that card Nita was showing. It breaks it down to every single step. And then as they get more of the hang of it, maybe it's going to be less steps that you have to post up there.
My son had his life skills job at my home every day. Okay. Awesome, Juliet. I just wonder if I'm the only one waiting to take my kid back out because of numbers. I'm sure other parents are anxious, waiting to see what's going to happen. Hopefully, all of this will be over with soon. That's what we all hope for.
Yeah.
Oh, hopefully. Jennifer says, Jamie, easy way is pulling someone up or pushing us to whatever he wants.
Yeah. I remember them days.
Or pointing and pulling and keep pushing.
And you walk to where they want, and then they look at you, and then you say what, and then they point to the cabinet, and then you ask all these different things that are in the cabinet, the cookies, the milk, the different things, the cups, whatever. But you go through this list, and it's Emily still answers multiple choice. I noticed. I started paying attention more to that. How you were talking about DeAndre with the yes and no.
Oh yeah.
And it was funny because I started to think that she started to say yes about a lot of things and not very often no. And it seems like they keep getting closer in age the older they get.
Yeah.
DeAndre and Emily. Because it seemed like they were so far apart before, but now they seem like they're right there.
Catching up with each other. Okay, I'm copying and pasting again. We got some more going on.
Okay. And for you guys, for the ones that don't know us, I have a 15-year-old girl who has autism, and Nita has a 14-year-old son, DeAndre, who has autism. And they're both about the same levels, probably what you would call level 2 and 3. Which means number 2 means that they need support but not in everything. And then on other things, they may need support. They may need lots of support on other things, which would be level 3. So because there are different things that they need help on or less help on, it would be considered a 2 and 3.
Yeah, just seen RS saying hello from the drive-through.
What? Oh, he
RS.
left? I didn't know. What? Does that mean?
I just copied it in there.
Oh, I didn't even know he left. Oh, he sure is gone because the car is gone. Okay. I did think that Emily got quiet all of a sudden.
Okay, let's see what we got here. Where are we? Okay, Chris says so true.
Hey, Danielle.
Yes, it does. We made one for tickles. Okay. Think a lot of people want to but can't. Right. A lot of people do want to, but just can't. Okay, it's called PIP in the UK. PIP. What does that stand for, Chris? PIP. Picture in maybe pictures something. If we only get 10 a day, it would be going down here. We are like 4. Yeah, that's about how we are, Michelle. Numbers, and they are still going up. Jennifer says, Chris, right. That's how I knew he was trying today and was down. Okay. Juliet says, yes, autism uses picture card or assistant technology for pet either way. Yes. Kenyana says, I agree. I can't take Daniel out because he's a special needs private school. Because he's in a special needs private school and he can't do first grade work yet. Okay. No, we don't go nowhere. I go to work, but when I come home, shower, then they use them at school, but not at home. Jaden is able to do all the things and ask for his. Okay, awesome. Colleen says, I'm so thankful that ABA is considered essential. Bless. Yes. He don't point, so it's like I go through everything in the house until I get what he wants. Okay. Probably when you finally get it, like when you get what he's asking for, then not being mean, but kind of hold it back and make him, at least gesture the yes and get him in a habit of yes. That's what I'm looking for. And then once he does that gesture, then you give it to him. That
and
just tonight. Oh, go ahead.
And always say the name of it. So when you ask him, like when you're, if, like say you didn't go to the item, but so at first you're going to be going to the item because you don't know what it is. Then you can start listing off things and he'll recognize that's what you've been calling it and that's what it is. So he'll be able to hopefully answer yes or no or positive or negative of it being the answer. Also take a picture of it and then when he does request it, then go get that picture and give him the picture, have him give you the picture or request it like Nita said in the way that he could respond yes. And always do that. So what you're doing is you're providing him the way to communicate it to you, whether it's handing him the picture or him saying yes. But yes and no is very, very valuable when they're nonverbal because they can nod their head yes or no. And it gives them like I said, with Emily, she's 15, and I noticed in a lot of her communication, she says a lot of words, but I noticed that when she repeats my question, she doesn't understand the question or what I'm trying to ask. So I give her multiple choice, and then she can do it. And I hear her teacher doing that very often with her. even though she may not do it with other students. So I know she understands that's how Emily communicates.
Mhm.
So give them yes or
Get a
no
little
is,
comprehension.
mhm.
Yeah.
And you
Another
always,
idea with the yes and no is the red and green
mhm.
check cards.
Yep.
So red would be, of course, no, and the green,
Mhm.
and then let them choose that. He'll get it. He'll get it.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
will.
Okay, let's see what we got here. Hey, Danielle, how are you? Colleen says I have that on my bathroom. Okay, yeah. We keep it on the mirror. So when he goes in, he, knows his steps. Jaden has his own cabinet. Okay. Baby step. Yep, baby steps.
Yeah.
And there's the post from RS. um, but I really appreciate the advice in this group. Thank you all. Godspeed. Y'all are God's said. Oh, awesome. I'm glad we
Thank
can
you.
support each other in
Mhm.
some way. Colleen says it's going to be a breakthrough when mine actually point. We're working on it. They'll get there.
Mhm.
Mhm. Don't forget my dinner. You must be talking to RS. Chris says, when did you guys know your kids were diagnosed with autism? I got the official diagnosis when DeAndre was just about 3.5, but it was, said when he was like 2.5. You, Linda?
I knew she was diagnosed 2 months before she turned 3, but I knew, I don't know, just one day I knew when she was 14 months old. And we brought it up with the doctor, and she was put into early intervention therapy. And yeah, then she was diagnosed, 2 months before she turned 3.
Okay. I have some more from the watch party.
Did you really hear him leave, Michelle? Because I kind of, he was upstairs. He would have had to walk past me, but I can't remember if I was reading something or saying something. And then I heard Emily get quiet and sound like, oh, you heard the alarm on the door. Yeah, because he went out the garage, so I don't even know why I didn't hear it. Good thing it wasn't Emily going through the garage because I didn't hear
Right.
it.
Jennifer
No,
says,
then I would
okay,
have heard it.
teaching and not handicapping. Yes, got it, because I do sometimes come off as handicapping. Yeah, I had to learn that too, Jennifer, because I used to, anytime he jump, I was like, what you need,
Mm-hmm.
baby? Here.
Right?
Then I had to learn, what do you want? Tell me what you want. And I had to be consistent with it. Now it's just like, either he's gonna go get it himself, or he's gonna keep repeating it until I get up and
Yeah,
get it.
until you figure it out. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because I knew it's just. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's just as hard, but it is hard on us to back up and not want, because it's easier. It is easier in that moment to just give it to them, or to just, I know what they want. Let's just give it. But to have to implement. Okay, can you request this? Can you do your type of communication or your level of communication to get this? It's hard and it's tiresome to do that, but we do it for our kids. But it's easier because you don't like to see them frustrated, and you just want to give them what they, they're requesting. But in order for them to learn and to be able to work with other people, so that other people can understand how he communicates, it's very beneficial. Because you're providing him a way to communicate.
Colleen says it's so hard, but rewarding small breakthroughs. My son's eye contact is better. We
Nice.
say, look at me, awesome. Jaden was 6, but I knew when he was 18 months. Okay. Oh, did it take you that long to get the diagnosis? Um, I know a lot of people say they had a long wait before they can actually get the diagnosis.
I think too, if it's a higher level or like say a 1, maybe one
Yeah,
slash
they
two.
probably want you to wait.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and it could be harder to, yeah. And then I know I think it was England, that they said that they wait until they're 5 before
Oh.
they diagnose.
So Colleen says, I knew my son was ASD at 6 months. I told the doctor he stopped looking at me. Okay. And you know what, Colleen? There were a lot of signs with my son even before the 6 month mark. But I just I overlooked them. But after after time, and I was able to sit back and think about, and I believe I told you that Linda, how he was a lazy
Mm-hmm.
baby. About 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
About 4 months, the baby is usually trying to hold the bottle. He never wanted to hold his bottle. 7 months, he didn't want to sit up. He didn't want to crawl. He didn't start crawling or sitting up by himself until he was like 10 months. He was just a lazy baby. So I kind of, all those signs just went phew, phew, right past me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I didn't want to accept the fact that, something could be wrong. So,
Because just like I say too, I've said this before, and I said it maybe last week to Steve. Autism is different from Down syndrome in the way that when you have the baby, you did the testing, everything came back negative, you have the baby's healthy, you don't see anything. You had a perfectly, typical, neurotypical child, right? But then, so you're not looking for signs, you're not looking for different things to
right,
pop up and things like that. So when they do, first of all, it has to be collective, or significant enough. But because you already got past that stage where you've seen your healthy baby, neurotypical baby, you don't think back to that. And then when you do find out, it's different. The way that it comes into play, I guess, because it's not as apparent, I guess, at birth. Yeah, the doctor's saying it too.
Okay.
That's how Emily was. I was just reading her baby calendar. I was going through my closet and I seen one of her baby calendars and I was reading it, and everything was either right on or a little early. Pulling and laughing and responding and anticipation and things like that. And I don't know how long it was before it seemed like when I noticed her stop smiling, it was right when it happened. She said, I understand completely. Mine was lazy too. And sometimes that's really what it is, Like I said, it takes so many collective and then significant symptoms to gauge that.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Thank you. I was reading something yesterday when I was on the treadmill. I read this. The article is in Psychology Today, and it was called "Autism Spectrum Disorder: Uncovering the Hidden Internal World." So lots of our kids have repetitive behaviors,
right,
or stimming. I was reading, and it says it was a study, so it was literally put out yesterday. This article from the results of the study. So it talks about restricted and repetitive behaviors, such as rocking and hand flapping. So it says that people on the spectrum, their heart rates fluctuate more than neurotypical people. So what it said was, it found that repetitive behaviors are most likely to occur immediately following an increased heart rate and immediately before a decrease in heart rate. And it suggests that such behaviors serve as calming regulatory function. Now we knew stimming was it was soothing to them, whether it was anxiety, what they were trying to calm, they were trying to calm themselves. But they actually see it in the heart rate. The heart rate would rise, and that's how they would calm themselves. But it literally, not just the feeling of anxiety, but actually with the increased heart rate. And so I noticed, like, when Emily starts rocking, it makes me think now that, oh, she must have an increased heart rate, and that's the body's way of bringing the heart rate down. But it actually had physical reason why our kids spin like that.
Wow.
And this was just released yesterday, so I always look back at when a study is done, or when it's written, because things can become so. It's just like COVID this year. If you read something about COVID back in April, it may not be relevant today because it's just so long ago in the realm of things. But anyway, so with autism, the newest things are always really interesting because it's a new thing that they figured out. But I thought that was really interesting because it shows what stimming helps with. And it also talked about how our kids work in black and white as far as thinking, like we're just talking about yes and no.
Right.
And where there may not be an I don't know, like what Emily just went through in ABA this last year, they try to teach her to say, I don't know, or I need help, or I don't understand. There's an in between instead of yes or no. But of course, the first thing you learn is yes and no. But they were talking about how people on the spectrum are so black and white, they can only think in, their mind tends to think one way or another. So it brings the fluctuations in the heart as far as raising because of their stress level or their anxiety and their worry. It was a really neat article and study, though.
Yeah, I can tell when DeAndre gets really stressed, he goes into the hand movement thing.
Mm-hmm.
When he's really, the anxiety and stress gets to him, and his eyes cross, and he's just really, I'm like, oh wow.
Yeah, and I guess it goes with the plugging of the ears, because if you don't hear something, it can calm you, instead of hearing all those sounds.
Yeah.
Same thing with the squinting of the eyes, like Emily does too. I think you said he does that sometimes, right? Something with his eyes.
He does. And then when we're out in public, if we go to the grocery store, he's on my arm like this.
Yeah.
It's like too much going on right now, Mama.
Exactly, yeah. I noticed too, when Emily watches a movie, I can tell how much she understands the movie, because she'll get up and she'll panic and she'll walk around and she'll stand up and start rocking and things like that. And it's because the anticipation and the anxiety of what's going to happen next in the movie. But yeah, there's definitely more soothing techniques going on with people on the spectrum, and that's why we notice those behaviors, or they have more frequent, larger ways to calm themselves.
And Juliet says, my nonverbal, severe autistic son improved to focus his parents and sister. He used some sign language, eat, drink, home, finish. We are deaf parents. Okay. Colleen says, even though I knew before the diagnosis, I felt the relief to have it recognized. Services come. Right. Yeah,
And
that does get you. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. No, go.
I was just saying, the diagnosis does help.
It does, yeah. And it really puts you on track of what direction to go from there. Like a solid decision on where you're going to be going from there, and taking in. She says, do some people try to stop stemming, like redirecting? Actually, we're reading about that right now in Uniquely Human in the book club. It talks about stemming having a purpose. Some people did learn, and some people did try to redirect the stemming. But say if you used to calm yourself down when you got nervous or you got afraid, and what you did was you took deep breaths to try to calm yourself down, and somebody took that away from you. Somebody took away your going to the bathroom, like say you're in a crowded party or something, you went to the bathroom to calm yourself down and try to regroup. If someone took away your coping methods like that, it could become frustrating to you, and how would you handle that? So it could be something like that. So stemming has a purpose. So it's worth reading up on to understand what stemming is for and why we should probably allow them to do it at least
I think,
to a degree.
yeah, as long as they're not harming themselves,
Exactly.
let them have it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
DeAndre goes through his motions, and I know as long as he's not hurting himself, or I don't see him doing anything to hurt anybody else, I just let him do his thing. And even with our ABA therapy, she allows him, because she allows him to get it out, take a couple breaths, and then they'll continue doing what they're doing. But yeah, I think it's a good idea to let them, as long as they're not themselves.
Yeah. Like if your kid is to jump up and down and, or run around in circles or to rock, back and forth really big, if it's not a safe place to do it, yeah, you would want to make sure they get to a safe place to do it. Of course, yeah.
Michelle says Jaden runs. Okay.
Oh, yeah, see,
Hey, Veronica.
hey, Veronica.
Oh,
Good night, Juliet.
yeah, it's a way to release themselves. Exactly.
Like if your thing is to scream to release frustration or anxiety, stress, and you feel better right after that, like I said, if someone took that away from you, how would you deal with it, right?
Mm-hmm. And that's Jacquees. Learning with Jasmine, right? She's going to be with us soon, so she can discuss what was it, global? What was it, global? God, I forgot what it was. What was it last week? Because she asked about that too. Yeah, so she'll be with us soon. I forgot to say quick. But she'll be here and to share learning with Jazz. Global delay. There you go. Thank you. I'm
I was
sorry.
gonna say delay, but I was like, I don't know yet.
Yeah, so she'll be with us soon to do a focus live. So stay tuned for that, you guys. And thank you for tuning in this evening with us.
There's a lot of parents who say that too. With I think it's what do they say, like autism with global delay is how they say it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen it mentioned in the group a lot.
Yeah.
So this will be a very helpful live.
It will.
To learn. So Michelle said this is the first time he has been able to tell us when he starts wheezing before it gets real bad. The more you know, the better. Yeah. Now DeAndre, and when now he's at a point too. Does he have asthma, your baby? I know when DeAndre is having trouble breathing, he'll come get me and get his machine. So I know he wants his treatment right then. Give me my treatment. So, I mean, that's a good thing. I'm glad he's able to communicate.
Yeah. That's like the time you said he brought you his medication. He was having like a hyper kind of a day. That's like one time I was picking Emily up from school because she had an incident at school, and I got there and she was saying, "Hi," well, she said, "Sorry, mom," but she's like, and then she's like, "A medicine, pill," because the nurse's office has it. She knew like, oh wait, I could use another half a pill. The thing that I was saying too was, even though they may not be able to communicate verbally, they can often understand what you're saying. So if you were to put them on a machine or to say, I give you this because of this, and you keep doing that, you communicate with them. Like, don't let their nonverbal take away your verbal with them, because you're teaching them what you're doing, what is for what. So if you say you need to get on the machine so that you can feel better, so you stop coughing, they can understand that most of the time. So because autism is a communication affecting verbal most often. So always, talk to them. Just like I remember when I had my little babies. I remember somebody came up to me at the store one time and they said you were talking to your son like he was a grown up. But I always made it a point to talk to them no matter what, just constantly talking to them, no matter how young they were. But do that, and they pick up on that.
Now you see, Mr. Charles had to chime in there.
Requested is back order. Yeah,
Mr. Charles.
Right. I saw a see global delay out here, and I remember you asked one time, and I didn't know what it was. So I remember looking it up. That was a while ago, though. But yeah, that'll be interesting to learn about that.
Okay, as yeah. Give him his space. Yeah. Yes, he is silly. Go ahead. Hi, Joanna. What do you want to ask? What do you want to ask, Joanna? Veronica says that's really good. DeAndre does that. Eddie is no help when he needs Tylenol, but when he gets popcorn or chicken stuck in his seat, he looks for floss and raw. He knows. Get this out. Get this out now.
Probably too, because then how can he relate how Tylenol works, right? It takes, 15, 30 minutes, and then he may not even associate that those two things are together. But he has chicken in his teeth, and you put a piece of string, the floss, you pull it out, and he instantly feels better. But in time.
Yeah. In time, he'll be when he needs it. When he needs it. Yeah.
I like hearing these things, about the steps of progress and learning.
Mm-hmm.
Like I noticed Emily's been going in my bathroom. She opens up the cabinet, and I know if she's in my bathroom and I heard that cabinet, she's in there cleaning her ears with the Q-tips. But something must have. Because how do we know when something's bothering her ear, right? She would know, so she just helped herself to go do that now. She realized it was the purpose of us wrestling her to clean her ears.
Yeah, he acts like Tylenol is me trying. Oh, goodness.
Right? And they get so strong. Oh, my goodness.
What does Mr. Charles say? Let me go here.
Speech is second nature to most people, but it is a very complex process. It is much more complex than understanding speech. So it should not surprise us that nonverbal kids understand what they're exactly. Mm-hmm. What did they say that? Is it? I believe it's cognition. Part of it's cognition, receptive speech. So they can receive it and understand it well before they start to speak it. And even in neurotypical children, understanding it happens first.
I want to ask, where can we get the learning to speed? You understand what she's asking?
Is she trying to say, I want learning to speed up?
Or speech?
Learning to speak. Oh, learning to speak?
To speak?
Ask where we get learning to speak. So maybe she's asking, how can we get speech?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Are you talking about language, how to get somebody to work with your child and teaching them language?
Oh, here. I want to ask, where can we get learning to speak? Like you probably talking about an app, right? So you probably have to go to the app store on your phone and type it in, and it should come up, Joanna.
Mm-hmm.
Jaden is good with meds. Awesome. Global delay is based with internal sensory, to sum it up. Jasmine feeds into others' energy. Oh, okay. Yeah, that'll be really interesting for you to really get down to the nitty gritty with that, because I am interested That's all of it.
I didn't know that that's what it was related to. I was just reading about internal sensory processing disorder, and picking up on other people's energies. And
Mm-hmm.
whereas it makes sense because our kids don't need to talk with you or to speak with people to understand how that person's feeling. And they pick up on their energies and their vibes. And I was reading, she'll probably understand this. I was reading about empaths, and they were talking about how that has to do with inner sensory. And sensory processing disorder has is kind of on the same wavelength. Anyways, yeah, and it picks up on people's energies. And I when I was reading that, I was thinking most people on the spectrum do that.
Okay, everyone, I am putting in the link. We are at time. You guys know I gotta have an early morning. So if you'd like to come on for the last few minutes and say hi and speak your mind for about a couple minutes, come on in. Just click on the StreamYard link. And that should bring you here. And you all are welcome if you want to come on in live with us. For those of you who are new, we do the last 5 minutes inviting the parents on the live if you want to come on and say hello. We do this every week, same time, same place. So feel free to join us. And there's Mr. Charles.
Hi, hi, Linda, Anita. How are y'all doing?
Good,
good. How are you?
Oh, doing fine. Doing fine.
Great.
Always doing fine. You know, every day with Cindy is a good day.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Okay. So if anybody else wants to join us, come on.
Okay. But yeah, that was an eye-opener when I read a recent article, and it wasn't about autism, but in the article they talked about how extraordinarily complicated the processes are in the brain for uttering a word, you know, for just saying a simple sentence. And you know, that impressed me then, as that's why you know, so many autistic kids are nonverbal or have delays in learning to speak.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one of those mechanisms in the brain doesn't work quite right, and you're not going to be able to speak.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know, when DeAndre, when he lost his speech and we were getting a diagnosis, they did the was it EEK or EEG?
EEG.
Yeah.
EEG.
On the brain. And she said everything up there was normal. They couldn't find a reason why. Well, with that test, they couldn't find a reason why he wasn't talking. There was no sign of seizures, and the brain waves were okay. And so I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
you're welcome, Colleen. Yes, that's what it's all about. All of us supporting each other. Hi, Crystal.
That's like the book that we read last in the book club, and he was talking about. He said, "What you guys take is easy, and it just flows right out. Language just comes right to you, and there's not a problem. It's very difficult for him. He can do it, but he can't. He could write and everything, but to do it and to speak was so." It took so much work, and it was so difficult. It wasn't like it just how it just comes to us.
The thing with me is that I don't know that I had any significant delays in speech development, but other kids always said I talked funny. Always said something strange about the way I talk.
It took so much work, and it was so difficult.
Joanna, you have to turn
Hi,
down your.
Joanna.
Joanna, you have to turn down your
Your
volume.
volume.
Other kids always say I talk funny. Always say,
Joanna, you have to turn down. Turn down your volume.
whatever the source of sound is.
You have on 2 devices, Joanna? No? Joanna, you have to turn down.
Whatever the source of sound is.
You have on 2 devices, Joanna? Just one? Okay.
I put it on mute, sorry.
Okay.
I wonder what was going on.
Okay. You want to introduce yourself, Joanna?
One.
You want to introduce yourself?
Just one.
Oh, she's delayed. Speaking.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to introduce yourself, Joanna?
Something keeps repeating itself though. Oh no.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Joanna.
Hi.
Do you have
Joanna.
your phone?
Just one. I don't have earphone.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're getting a lot of feedback.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining us. We're glad you're here.
Hi, everybody. Hi.
Yeah. Your phone?
I don't have earphone.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're getting
Yeah.
okay. Well, thank you for joining us. Okay, everybody. Let's yeah. Okay, everybody. Anyone else want to join in and say hi? You are welcome. I put the link in there. I'm gonna log off in a minute, but we'll be back next Sunday. And don't forget, look for Jacquees. Did I say that right? Learning with Jasmine. She'll be here to talk about global delay. So we'll set up the time with her soon. And we're going to try to get Mr. Charles back on with us to share some of his wisdom.
And tell me some subject that something you'd like me to talk about that's related to my experiences, and I'll gladly share it with the group. Something you think will be helpful or encouraging to the parents of some angle. You can give me a multiple choice of things, and I can pick from them. But
okay.
Yeah.
Charles, what did you do for a living?
Okay, that's something I could talk about. I was I say mainframe computer software engineer. That kind of encompasses everything. I started out as a computer programmer, and then got into what we call systems programming. I was maintaining the operating system on the mainframe computers that the companies I worked for used, and eventually I got into working in kind of a semi software support and development for a company that writes computer that writes computer software, and that's what I worked for the last 24 years before I retired.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, that's a good topic, and yeah, there's a few other things too. Yeah, leading up to that and to now. Yeah, yeah.
Never say what a person on the spectrum cannot do. And Mr. Charles is proof of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll try to think of, all the experiences that are worth sharing there, and then I
Put it
can
together.
talk about that.
All right.
Yep,
And
sounds
any
good.
other parents who like to do a focus live, reach out to us, and we'll get you guys on the schedule. But till next time, and thank you so much, Joanna, for joining us.
Thank you, Joanna.
We
Thank you,
appreciate
Joanne.
and everybody else. Thank you. Same
you.
time, same place, next Sunday, open discussion. It's all about us helping each other. Let's talk autism. See you guys later. Thank you.
Everybody have a good week.
All right.
Bye.
All right, everyone.
Take care, everyone.